Hello, beautiful soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic. If you didn't happen to be here, perhaps it's time to meet your soul. Welcome to Jinjin's Cosmic, where souls who are different for a reason are heard with depth and seen through the lens of the future. If you are an Aquarius with a life path, number 22, you're not here just to know a lot or dream big. You were born to build something lasting for humanity, not with bricks and mortar, but with structures of thought, systems of consciousness, and practical actions rooted in the ideals you've always carried in your heart. You are a rare combination of the revolutionary intelligence of Aquarius, seeing what humanity has not yet dared to see, the master builder mission of number 22, turning lofty visions into real, tangible, and enduring foundations. You are not here just to dream. You are here to build. But before you can construct a new world, you must first build a solid inner world, a place where ideals are anchored in reality, where intuition walks hand in hand with action, and where the heart can be both exquisitely sensitive and unshakably strong. Part 1. In Alignment, the bridge builder for the future. Some people carry within them a vision of another world, not to dream about it endlessly, but to turn that vision into a system that can actually work. Aquarius is the sign of far-sightedness, of revolutionary perspective. 22 is the master builder, one of the rarest numbers in numerology, representing the mission of constructing and manifesting what is far beyond the reach of most people. When these two energies meet, you get a rare kind of human, someone contemplative like a philosopher, yet determined like an architect of a new era. They don't stop at ideas. They act. They build. They hold things steady. An Aquarius 22-inch alignment is someone who can both see far and lay the bricks. They can envision a more humane, just future, and then quietly design the roadmap for it, step by step. They don't inspire through speeches, but through consistency. They don't seek the spotlight. They just make sure the system works. They are not the dazzling pioneer at the front, but the quiet foundation beneath great change. In their work, they are often the architect of organizations with sustainable vision, the strategic advisor behind meaningful human-centered projects, the creator of educational models, communities, or technologies serving collective evolution, the systems designer for healing organizations, modern spirituality, or social innovation movements. They don't care about being ahead of their time for the sake of it. They care about what will still be useful 10, 20, even 50 years from now. I once worked with a client named Nathan, a systems engineer in Denmark, who founded a platform integrating AI and mindfulness to teach creative thinking to underprivileged youth. Nathan is an Aquarius, life path 22. He once told me, "I don't need to be the one who inspires. I just need to know that what I build will outlast me and help someone I will never meet." Tarot Insight, the Emperor. When I read for Aquarius 22 second, who are living in alignment, the Emperor often appears, not as a ruler seeking control, but as the one who holds the structure. They represent the foundation, firm, steady, quietly keeping rhythm so the whole system can run. If you are an Aquarius 22-inch alignment, you may sometimes feel too rational, too systematic, or not as inspiring as others. But remember, you are the one quietly laying the foundation so others can fly. Part 2. Out of Alignment. When vision turns into a burden. Some souls are born with a vision so vast, even they feel overwhelmed by it. For an Aquarius life path 22, If they don't truly understand and heal their inner world, they can easily slip into overload from self-imposed responsibilities, isolation, believing no one can understand their vision, carrying the weight of a collective dream without yet having the inner stability to hold it. They believe they must accomplish something monumental. Otherwise, it's a failure. From there, they develop an inner mechanism that forces them to keep pushing, controlling, building, even when they're not sure for whom or for what reason. In work, they can become workaholics, trapped in the role of the one who cannot fall, always striving to create the perfect structure, but losing joy and flexibility, prone to burnout because they won't allow themselves to rest until the mission is complete. In relationships, they often choose partners they can support rather than seek relationships of true equality. They may feel lonely even within a relationship because no one truly understands their ideals. When hurt, they rarely share, afraid they'll disappoint others by showing vulnerability. I once worked with a client named Lucia, a strategic advisor for non-profit organizations in Argentina. She built sustainable education models, supported indigenous women, yet she constantly felt it wasn't enough. In one session, she admitted, "I don't know if I'm doing this out of love, or because if I stopped, I'd feel like I have no value." Lucia is an Aquarius, life path 22, but she was living as though she were repaying a debt to the world, rather than co-creating something meaningful with it. Tarot Insight, 10 of Wands. This card often appears when a soul is carrying too much without knowing how to set it down. It reminds you, you don't need to carry the whole world on your shoulders to be useful. You just need to be clear about what you truly want to bring into it. If you see yourself in these words, remember, you were born to build, but not to exhaust yourself. You can create a powerful system without sacrificing the peace in your heart. You have the right to pause, look inward, before continuing to build for humanity. Part 3. Transforms. The silent architect of a better world. When an Aquarius life path 22 transforms, their ideals are no longer a burden, they become a compass. They no longer strain to carry everything alone. They have learned how to delegate, guide, and empower others. They are the ones who not only envision a better world, but know exactly how to lay each brick to build it sustainably and with deep wisdom. An Aquarius 22-inch transformation is the architect of humanity's light, no longer trapped between dream and reality, between I must and I can't. They stand firmly between two worlds, serving as a strong bridge. Vision and execution, intuition and structure, ideals and sustainable systems. They are not just leaders, they are designers of the future, unbound by current limitations, needing no grand speeches because their presence alone inspires trust, building systems that grow on their own without the need to control every detail. I once met a man named Elias, an educational ecosystem consultant in Northern Europe. He is an Aquarius, life path 22, who has transformed. Elias doesn't preach. He simply shares the systems he has tested, then quietly hands over the reins to younger generations to run them. I don't need to leave a legacy with my name on it. I just need the next generation not to have to start from scratch. Tarot Insight, the World and the Hierophant. When I read for Aquarius 22 who have transformed, these two cards often appear together. The World, the symbol of integration, completion, and the closing of a soul's mission cycle. The Hierophant, the keeper of ancient wisdom, able to pass it on in a way the modern world can receive. When you have transformed, you no longer rush to prove yourself. You simply show up, play your role, and let the system ripple outward. because you have become the keeper of soul architecture for a new era, quietly, but with undeniable strength. Part 4. The unconscious shadow. When the builder loses the foundation within, Aquarius Life Path 22 is a rare combination of reformist vision and extraordinary power to make things real. But because they carry such a grand-scale soul architecture, their shadow is just as intricate, quiet, subtle, and easily hidden beneath the armor of "I must be strong." Oh, Shadow 1, overburdening themselves. With the 22 frequency, they often carry an unconscious belief. If I'm not doing something monumental, I'm meaningless. They push themselves to always lead, always solve, always hold things together. Instead of creating systems that spread the work, they become the system, exhausting themselves by being on all the time. Shadow 2, subtle control. Aquarius is the sign of systems and ideas. 22 is the master executor. When living in fear of failure, they can become overly controlling, insisting everything aligns perfectly with their vision, to the point of stifling others' creativity. They believe that if they don't control it, it will all collapse, forgetting that sustainable systems require flexibility and trust in those who share the mission. Shadow 3, neglecting their personal life. Many Aquarius 22 live as though there is only the mission, no me. They work endlessly, but don't remember what joy feels like. They love out of responsibility, but forget the delight of a heart that needs care too. I once worked with a client named Levi, an engineer building education systems for underprivileged children. He told me, "I've built schools for thousands of kids, but I can't seem to find a single room in my own heart to rest in." Levi was an Aquarius. Life Path 22, living inside his own perfect model, yet a prisoner of it. Tarot Insight, 8 of Swords and the Emperor. 8 of Swords. Self-imprisonment within limits of one's own making. Emperor reversed. A leader who has lost their roots, building structures without connecting to their own emotions. If you see yourself in this, ask yourself, what am I building? Does it include me in it? Am I leading from trust or from fear of losing control? You were not born to sacrifice yourself for an ideal. You were born to build a world that has space for you too, with all your softness, your imperfections, and your very human heart. Partpenki. The strengths of an Aquarius with a life path. Number 22. Duto nurture. You don't need to shout your vision for the world to hear it. If you live in alignment, your very energy becomes a guiding system. Aquarius 22 carries strengths that few possess, and when you cultivate them well, you're not just changing the game, you're laying down the very foundation for the consciousness of the future. Here are 5 core strengths worth investing in. E. Systemic vision and evolutionary intuition. You don't just think ahead. You see the underlying structure behind everything, from individuals to organizations to society. Trust your ability to read the deeper layers. You can sense when something is out of rhythm, even before it collapses. When paired with Aquarius intuition, you have the rare ability to redesign systems before the world even realizes they need changing. Oh, the power to bring ideals into reality. You don't dream and leave it there. You know how to turn ideas into projects and then see them through to completion. Let others dream. You're the one who anchors dreams to the ground. Whether it's an educational model, human-centered technology, or a creative ecosystem, you can build it. The key is believing you're worthy of it. Sun, leading through energy, not force. You have a very special kind of influence. When you live in truth, people naturally align. Invest in your presence. When you show up with clarity, steadiness, and inner peace, you become a leader without needing to raise your voice. 4. Interdisciplinary thinking bridging worlds. Aquarius, 22, is a bridge builder between science and spirituality, technology and ethics, ideals and execution. You are not limited to one field. Give yourself permission to explore across domains that seem unrelated because you are the one who makes them fit together. 5. An unshakable inner foundation. Unlike other master numbers, 22 only switches on when your inner world is solid. When you've built yourself, you can build anything, and if you do it from a place of love, it will stand strong for generations. Remember, you don't need to strain to prove yourself. When you stand in your role, the systems around you will naturally recalibrate. Part 6. Healing lessons and message. You weren't born just to build great structures. You were born to become a safe space first for yourself, and then for the world. An Aquarius life path 22 is not here to live an ordinary life. But in order to create the extraordinary, this soul must first learn to be fully human before becoming truly great. The lesson of foundations. Build from within, not from expectation. Master number 22 is the builder's number, but if you start from fear, every system you create will be shaky. Ask yourself, does what I'm building truly touch the most honest part of me? You don't need to save the whole world. You just need to begin with one act of kindness, rooted in stillness, not in strain. The lesson of partnership. Not every system needs you to carry it. An unhealed Aquarius 22 often gets stuck in the role of the one who carries it all, because they believe no one else can. But the world doesn't need you to be a superhero. The world needs you to learn how to delegate, share, and trust. 3. The lesson of gentleness. No one can truly love you if you never let yourself rest. You may inspire with your words, but you will heal with the way you live. Practice saying, I'm tired. Practice saying, I'm not ready yet. Practice saying, I need to be heard, without guilt. Tarot insight. The Chariot and 4 of Swords. The Chariot. You have the strength to lead, but you must first steer from within. 4 of Swords. Rest. Pause. Be still, so you can go farther and go true. Your healing message. You are an architect of the future, but every great structure begins with a foundation, and your very first foundation is you.